Hello, Angelo back here with an update. It's been a little bit since my last update, but I just wanted to check in. It's easy to check in when things are going hunky dory. Kind of the opposite of when I used to write a lot in my journal. I would write a lot when I was down in the dumps. It seems like here at my Oligo update video blog, I tend to check in more when things are going well because I do like to encourage other people when when they maybe have a similar issue or they're going through some stuff with brain tumors or whatever, just challenging life experiences. Um, but today's been kind of a challenging day, so I figured I'd check in when things weren't going so well for me. I mean, things are great. I mean, every day that you wake up in the morning and you're able to get up and go about. I mean, depression is probably the biggest issue for me, and just sleeping a whole lot it plays into that. And then you get into a cycle of sleeping a lot, staying up late, getting pinned behind a TV or whatever sort of electronic device that can suck your time and energy away. And I'll admit I've been guilty of that for a while. Before all of this happened and before I had the brain tumor and or at least knew about it and was going through epilepsy and had my biopsy, um, I tended to go out a lot, do a lot of things. A lot of it did encompass or surround drinking beer because I was working in the craft beer industry. I wasn't a heavy drinker, but so I like to say I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a connoisseur. Kind of true. Didn't really drink liquor or anything like that, but I did write about beer a lot. Did go out to a lot of events. Did cover a lot of local craft beer events. So it was easy to get into that drinking mold. Uh, Anyhow, now that I'm not drinking at all, um, finding other things to fill my days. Um, Sometimes it's easy to get in a rut because a lot of my friends are still in that world, and a lot of people that are still close to me, a lot of the foundation in my life are people who are craft beer drinkers, and it's a great way, it's a great medium, a great way to fill time and to find a link between other people is to it can be whatever for other people. Some people if it's games, some people it's you name it, bikes, just a few examples, sports, whatever. So not only is alcohol one of those type of things, but it's also a psychoactive, mood altering thing. So that can become another variable, and I won't get into that too greatly today. I just wanted to talk about feeling down and feeling depressed. I think a lot of it has to do that now that it's in late October, I'm starting to feel the real set in of winter. I mean, winter is technically December 21st or so, the equinox, but really when I think of winter, I think of like November through February, beginning, middle February, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. So things are gray, it rains a lot, the days are quite a bit shorter. Some days don't even get out of the house an entire day, and it's dark if you oversleeping or staying up too late. And those are things that I have a hard time keeping control of because I know that with having a brain tumor or any type of mental or physical condition, that keeping in a pattern that's healthy, like going to bed at a reasonable hour, um, I would say probably before 11 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. at the latest, even though I stay up later than that, usually past midnight and oftentimes past 1 or 2 in the morning. But I think it's really important to go to bed in the PM and wake up in the AM, and a lot of times that doesn't happen for me. And last night I was in bed 12 hours, which is a long time. I noticed since my radiation treatments, I've uh, I've been very tired, and I still haven't taken the temozolomide, the 5 extra dose of that for a 28-day cycle. So I have control over that. It's not intravenous, but I am losing weight, and maybe you can tell because of me being skinny. I don't know, but I haven't been eating very well. And I did go to Veg Fest here in Portland, which was you pay like $10 or less to get in, and it's all the free samples of uh, vegetarian, all vegan food that you can try. And unfortunately, a lot of it's processed, kind of packaged, fake meats and things like that. So that wasn't really my bag, though I did get a lot of free samples. Anyways, back to the point that I was making earlier about depression. Depression usually begets depression, so it's important to try to break out of that mold. And I'm saying this for myself because usually if I journal something, whether it be writing it down or doing it on a video blog, I can follow my own advice more likely than not. And so what I need to do, and I'm saying this for me, and if you're in a similar experience, maybe we can do this together, or I can inspire you to inspire me, is to get back in the groove, start eating better, and it's hard to pull yourself up when you're down at the bottom or you're sinking towards the bottom, to stop that skid and to continue to climb back out. But it's possible. I don't want to get to a point where I'm going into the hospital or having seizures again, or letting Western medicine dictate what's going on. So I think it's important to start juicing again for me. A lot more greens. Getting my turmeric tea back in effect. Tonight I am a night owl. I do feel like I'm most alive and active at night. I do feel like my energy is there, but I do realize that being a human being, that it's important to get enough vitamin D and sunshine, get enough vitamin B, B12. Anyhow, I'm still working through a little bit of the depression of having my hair fall out and probably permanently being bald in kind of a weird patch area of my head. And I'll show you that again. I'm really not embarrassed about it, but it's just one of those things that you feel kind of awkward about. And I've always had hair, at least not a lot, but I've had hair for sure. And yeah, I'm bald, and you can see where the stubble is, and then you have this area here which is not growing back, and over here where it's growing back in just a weird fuzzy way. But anyways, that's just one superficial part of the whole process. The main process is to feel that stuff doesn't really matter, and that validation comes from right here, not anywhere else. It's hard since we're social creatures and that we do rely on other people to sort of reflect back the energy that we're putting out there. And it's hard when you're trying to meet people, your friends or whatnot, and you don't really feel confident in what defines you, because you are, in an American society teaches us this, that you are defined by your job, your income level, how many kids, how many cars, having the typical American life. And that's never been for me, but that's still a facet that I'm cognizant of, and I think that most people are, whether they adhere to it or not, consciously or otherwise. Anyhow, I just hope that we can all keep our spirits up and try to stay mindful and try to find those little things in life. The beauty of nature is very important. It's all around us still. We're lucky enough to live in a time where our natural resources have not yet become depleted. There's still water to drink and there's air to breathe, at least for a lot of us Americans. But I also encourage you to become involved in a cause greater than yourself to help other people, because that definitely gives you a rewarding feeling that matters more than anything else in my mind. It's good to help yourself, to find your own quest and your own journey to bring yourself to the next plane. But remember, none of us are probably going to ever live forever, since no one ever has, ever. I'll say ever again. Um, but working towards a better future and enjoying all that we do have now. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind for myself and hopefully for you. So think about the good things that you have and the good things that you have had in your life. And a couple of things for me that have been prominent is that memory's been kind of still uh, waning a little bit, and connecting to old thoughts. It's good to write things down and keep things um, as organized as possible. I have a hard time finding words that used to come to me so readily, and now I notice that that has slipped a bit. But you just got to keep moving forward, because we're all getting older. And if you're younger going through something like this, or know someone that's younger, it can be a little bit different. It's hard to lose a sense of your youth and to lose a sense of what defines you, the things that you enjoy that define you, and things that maybe you've taken for granted. So anyhow, easier said than done. I'm not the person on screen that I am off screen completely. I mean, I am, but to a large degree, there's a little facets of me that you're probably not going to see, like my meltdowns, my tears, and my explosions or whatnot. Things that I say maybe to my therapist, or the real um, unlocked side of Angelo that his family sees, and the troubles and fears that they see, as well as I see for myself. But everybody has problems. People that don't have brain tumors, people that don't seem to have anything physically wrong with them other than things that seem like they could totally control that. Why is that person, considering themselves handicapped? Or why is that person depressed when they have everything in the world going for them? We see that looking in. But having a brain tumor or any other neurological issues, epilepsy, that's just a part of the greater picture. That's a hindrance for sure, but it's not everything. So keep in mind that there's so much more. Life is such a multifaceted puzzle that is not always, that every piece is not always put together. You put one piece in, another piece that was in comes out, or several other ones, and it's ever changing. It's and a lot of this stuff, people listening, and I don't mean to seem like I'm patronizing or even contradictive of myself, but I'm kind of coming to terms with some of these things as I say them, because I don't come on to this video journal scripted. Usually I have a general sense of why I want to be here, and today's theme has been depression and dealing with winter depression. So hopefully, if you're dealing with it and you can experience this in the summertime, it's not uncommon. I feel it dog days of summer. I really love spring, because spring seems like a time for renewal. So just know that that's coming. Even if you feel like you're just slipping into the dark days, there's some great times to be experienced right now. There's Halloween, Thanksgiving, and even if those times make you feel down and you don't want to experience those, find a little nook in life that makes you happy and run with that. Find a little thing that brings you pleasure. Go out into the woods. I find that doing that always is rewarding. And if you're not a forest person, go to a park, or if you're not anything like that, do whatever it is that you feel good about and good with. So all right, I think I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, just feel free to reach out to me. You can always reach me here, or you can check out my blog and reach me through that. State of Euphorbia, 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 and you can follow me on Twitter, State O Euphorbia. And I also have my own Twitter that I update more regularly with more personal things about, my left-leaning politics or whatnot. But whatever, we're all in this together, whether we're right, left, center, who cares? Whatever, we don't care at all. Um, the main point of what I'm trying to do is to bring a little bit more light and positivity into the world and help people and myself along on this journey. So I've got a lot to learn, a very lot to learn. So I don't know if very lot is proper grammar, but whatever, you get my point. We all have a lot to learn, and we have a long way to go, and we should all be proud of how far we've come. All right, so stop with the preachiness. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day. And to all the people that have already reached out, I really, really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much it means. Keep on reaching out. Keep on leaving comments. Keep on directly messaging me. Whatever it is, thank you for tuning in, and have a great day, night. And thank you for giving me a purpose. And hopefully I can give you a bit of one myself. All right. Peace.